Okay, so I'm working on this paper. Well, I have the idea for a paper, and I'm call it the Lil Kim Blueprint. And it's the idea I got. It's probably not even an idea. It's probably something people have already been thinking about, trying to figure something out. And what is it? And maybe it don't has a name. I don't know. But I got the idea from watching Hip Hop Evolution, and it was on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on there. But during one of the episodes, they were talking about how kind of after it went from kind of this West Coast, East Coast beef, Tupac and Biggie. And then this episode, it talked about how after Biggie died, P. Diddy kind of rose. If I say kind of again, I'm sorry. But P. Diddy rose up, which we understand why. And it's not because he's good at what he does, but we understand why. But he rose up, and Jay-Z saw what he was doing, and what P. Diddy was doing is he was he was mass marketing. Was not mass marketing. He kind of reshaped hip-hop into this almost glitz and glam to be bigger and larger than life. And Jay-Z would die in Rockefeller. He took that idea as well, so they kind of mirror one another. And you see that today with rap, kind of this glitz and the glam and the larger than life and the chains and the money and all that. But after I kind of watched that video, and then I started thinking about, I looked at the way female rappers were being marketed to society or to the market. And to me, it goes, it is the Lil Kim Blueprint, because when Lil Kim came out, she was famous. Hold on, I gotta turn this air on because I'm getting a little hot. I know I got this hoodie on because I work in a cold area in the plane. But when Lil Kim came out, she wasn't just known for being, her image was raw in a sense, but it was also, she was well known and famous for how raw her lyrics were, how she was a female that was explicit in a way too. And so you see, and that kind of, it got ground. It got ground, and society liked it, I guess, because it was different, and it made us a lot of money. And then as time goes on, we see that with female rappers today, if that makes sense. We see that with Cardi B, we see that with Sexy Red, even though sexy, and that goes to prove that the blueprint do work, because Sexy Red ain't got no talent. She don't got no talent. And Ice Spice too. She lyrically, I think if she took more time, I think she could lyrically be good. But I remember though too when Cardi B started becoming famous and everybody's saying, oh, she copied Nicki Minaj. She didn't copy Nicki Minaj. Everything go back to Lil Kim. And I'm sorry. And also too, the Lil Kim Blueprint, and there's nothing wrong, hold on, let me say this. There's nothing wrong with, I understand that all rap music is going to be different. There's conscious rap, there's club rap, there's all different type of rap. But in today's world, the time we're living in now, the type of rap that is saturating the market, there's not a balance. Because if there was a balance, we would get female rappers like Queen Latifah. We would get female rappers like Salt-N-Pepa. We would get female rappers like MC Lyte. Or we would get rappers like the Lady of Rage. We would get those type of rappers. But the market is so oversaturated with those, I feel like, are following the Lil Kim Blueprint because we know it's successful. And I feel like, too, these female rappers that follow it or kind of have to market themselves in that area try to lie to themselves and say it is empowering, but hypersexualization to me is not really empowering, because really think about it. In what ways is it empowering anybody? Because it, like, how is that empowering? Do you hear some of the lyrics? Literally, do you hear some of the things that you guys are saying in these lyrics? It does not seem to be empowering to me. It does not. And it's not that hard to rap about some of the things you guys are rapping about. Like, it's not. It's not. What else did I want to say? Yeah. I don't think, and also too, I don't think hypersexualization is a feminine, I don't think it is a feminine characteristic. I actually think it's a masculine characteristic. Sorry. Because I look at the animal kingdom. I'm not trying to say anybody's an animal, but that's how I look. I feel like I look at the animal world, and it's something to do to reproduce. You're going to be in that state to reproduce. If that makes sense. It probably don't, but in my mind it does. But that's all I wanted to say. Is that I have a theory. Basically, I have a theory that female rappers in the industry are following, in a sense, this Lil Kim Blueprint because it's been so successful throughout the years, especially when we saw Lil Kim. And also, too, if it wasn't that successful, we would see a healthy balance of other type of female rappers. Sorry, like the ones I mentioned earlier. And not only that, I feel like also too, why rap has become, or I know rap is enlarged in the hip hop world, but a lot of people don't even understand that, so I'm just gonna say rap. Why rap itself has become so bland, so everybody's doing the same thing, is because I feel like we don't look to the past and understand where we need to go. Like, when hip-hop first came out, we know where it came out. We came out in the Mecca of New York. Well, sorry. I already said it came out in New York. We know that it started in New York. And New York, a lot of those New Yorkers were using things like jazz in their music. Alright? And I feel like if you look back at hip-hop and you can hear not only the jazz influence, but the funk influences. Because those were the people that they were literally going back to what they had listened to with their parents, and they were like, yeah, we can do something with this. And I feel like, and not only that, they were studying what they knew. They were studying the music. And I just feel like rappers today, they don't, like I said before, I understand that everybody's going to be different rap. Everybody's going to have a different category. But I don't feel like anybody really studies it anymore. There's a few people that you can find and you can listen, you hear the influences. But there's a lot of people that don't study music anymore. Because, and it goes back to the idea of the image that P. Diddy created, it's all about the money. And when something's about the money, in reality, and I understand a lot of these rappers want to do it to get out of poverty. Like, yeah, do what you got to do. Because we be struggling out here. I'm not saying don't. I understand that there's going to be a financial gain to it. But when it's all about the money, it becomes nothing anymore. And Lauryn Hill talked about that one time too. She said, a rapper that begins to plateau, it's because either they're not studying and mastering or growing and experiencing. Money does not allow us to grow. This Lil Kim Blueprint, this whole idea of empowering women through sexualization, is not empowering. It's not any way for anybody to grow. Yeah, it's one thing to have an experience of something about yourself, but not everybody experience that. Not everybody wants to experience that. But that's all I have to say. That was my theory, my idea. I know sometimes my thoughts get a little jumbled, but I hope it makes sense. Okay, hope it makes sense.